the Queensbury show this weekend. I think there's 4 world titles on the line, 3 in the main event and 1 in the chief support. But I want to talk to you predominantly about the main event, which won't come as a great surprise. Artur Beterbiev, someone you know well from being in the opposite corner with Callum Johnson when he nearly stopped that reign before it had even started, against Anthony Yarde, who has earned his shot. You know, he's come back well from his defeat to Kovalev and to Arthur as well with revenge. How do you kind of sum up that fight? How do you assess it?
Now, it was like last weekend, everyone was going, if anyone's got to win by stoppage, it'd be Eubank, and if it was on points, it was Smith. So this weekend, everyone was saying this ain't going the distance. So it must go the distance, be controversial, probably, split decision. It's always the opposite, isn't it? No, listen, Anthony Yarde, he's rebuilt himself well. He did well against Kovalev, ran out of gas, but acquitted himself. It was a bit of a test run. He's now back. He hasn't had to travel. He's got home advantage. Artur Beterbiev is one of the most feared fighters in world boxing at the moment. 18 fights, 18 wins, 18 knockouts. And he's fought and been in with them all. Amateur, pro, Usyk, whoever, he's been in and done it. Will Yarde show me anything a little bit different he hasn't seen before? No, not really. But Father Time all of a sudden has a habit of just popping up out of nowhere. And this is the question. And what Frank Warren is very good at is getting the right fight for this fighter at the right time. We're seeing it with Ricky Hatton with Costa Tszyu, and now we've got to see it here now with Anthony Yarde against Artur Beterbiev. If he does, it's brilliant man management, brilliant matchmaking, and also for Tundi as well, who everyone slaughtered him and said he should have left after the Kovalev loft. Anthony Yarde stuck with him, showed loyalty, and it'd be great for him to pull it off. But can he keep? I thought Beterbiev's last fight against Joe Smith Jr. is one of his best performances for a very long time, and he shows no sign of slowing down. So with that, I just think you're going to have to go with the world champion on his experience, his solid hitting. And I think for Anthony Yarde to win, it'd be a big upset, and Father Time will have to play some part of that performance, and Artur Beterbiev not winning.
Pretty much everyone I've spoken to has said that if Yarde's going to win the fight, he has to do it early. I don't know how much of that's based on the fact that he lost a bit of gas against Kovalev, but what do you make of that? Do you go along with that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think to try and come out and fight Anthony Yarde like he did against Lyndon Arthur a second time. I think you're just playing into Beterbiev's hands straight away. Beterbiev hits hard round 1 to round 12. So coming forward and put him under pressure, yeah, he most probably could do, but he's got to walk into some fire. I think for him to ease himself into it, have a look, have that high shoulder roll, get Beterbiev to commit. Artur Beterbiev's got a very good jab. Try and take that jab away from him, slip on the outside, right uppercut, throw some right hooks into the rib. Callum Johnson, I remember at the end of round 1 or 2 coming back to me, and I'm saying to him, just be careful in the weigh-in. And Callum saying he's not that strong up close. He says, I can bully him about. And once Anthony Yarde's in there and he started feeling a few of the shots in the arms and the gloves, he might start growing to confidence and stand into him and come side into him like he does. Instead of coming square onto him, come side in with his shoulder, his front foot in between both Beterbiev's legs, and sort of like nudge him back and counter little shots. He's got to be aware of Beterbiev's overhand right. He throws it as a looping right hand. That's what Joe Smith, he got Callum Johnson with. That's his pet shot. So it'll be interesting how Anthony Yarde defends that with that shoulder roll, Philly shell that he tries to do. So it's a fascinating fight. I wouldn't go running out at him. I won't be reckless in that. You're on the world stage. You were reckless last time out, and it didn't work for you. He's learned his lesson. Or they most probably think Anthony Yarde hasn't got the 12 rounds in him, and go for it, son. And if you've got to go out, you've got to give it the best 5-6 rounds you've got. And if Beterbiev lives with you, fair play to him. If he doesn't, you're world champion.
And just finally on that, who do you rate as the best light heavyweight in the world currently? Is it
Beterbiev
over Bivol?
I'd say Bivol, yeah. I think that's it. And we were just talking about 2023. That's the fight everyone wants to see after this.
Yeah.
Now, I know they say WBC is saying, and Callum Smith, who used to train, and I'd be the saying, no, it's us, it's us. But as a boxing fan, this side of it, I want to see Beterbiev versus Bivol. I'm sure Callum Smith could be step-aside money. Well, just have a step-aside money, have that, have a tick over somewhere in Liverpool.
Fight for undisputed.
Let's have this happen. And then Callum, you'd fight for all the belts. And we'd get the chance to see Beterbiev v Bivol, another fight. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not really keen on Bivol going down to 168 v Canelo. I'd rather Bivol stay at 175 and fight Artur Beterbiev. I think that's what all the boxing fans want to see. They want to see them fights this year. They want to see Tank Davis Garcia. They want to see Haney Lomachenko. We just want to see Spence Crawford. We want to see the best be the best. And boxing promoters and everyone have just got to think of the overall health of the sport this year of boxing, and not just for what their fighters. It's hard saying that because I'd be like, no, it's Callum next, but I'm sure they've stepped aside money and we sat down, we enjoyed Beterbiev and Bivol. It'd be a good fight to watch.
And you'd fancy Beterbiev, would you, in that one?
Very good fight. That's why I want to watch it. I think Bivol's boxing ability is very good. His feet movement. I just think it's a great fight. If that fight doesn't happen, it'll be a shame. It'd be a real shame. We would have missed out on a great fight. And so someone made a point the other day. I think I've seen it this morning. I think Steve Kim put it. I think that Leonard was 31 or Hagler was 33 when they fought. Yeah, they were both deemed to be old. Yeah, you got Spencer Crawford in the 30s who've not fought yet. It just shows you these fights need to happen, or otherwise we've got to look back at this era of fights that never happened.
Great stuff, Joe. Always appreciate your time. Great knowledge and insight. Let's catch up again soon.
Yeah, no problem, Danny. Thanks for having me on, mate, and all the best. I'll see you soon.
Take care, mate. See you soon.